Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first Tele Teach Talk video, where we will be sharing all different kinds of information about WFSU Public Media and our education department and PBS Kids and PBS, and even sometimes some NPR WFSU FM content. And I'm going to pass it over to Ryan to introduce herself.
My name is Ryan Lynn. I am the new Education and Engagement Coordinator with WFSU. Joining the team here on the screen, who have helped put together this PowerPoint, but today Tasha and I are kind of going to walk you through some of the basics.
Yep. So I am Tasha Weinstein, and I'm the director of this awesome team. And Leah Moore and Lauren Pennyman are not joining us today, but they will be on other episodes. So, Ryan, who is this for?
This is for a whole group of people. We've got teachers in training, any teachers who are seeking different resources. So we'll talk about where to find those. Informal educators, including parents, and homeschool educators as well. So we'll kind of see all of our lifelong learners and how they can use free PBS Kids resources to do some education with their littles.
Fabulous. So, first things first, WFSU is located in Tallahassee, Florida, and we serve the area that includes all of Panama City towards WSRE over there in Pensacola and out towards Live Oak, which is over there near WJCT that serves Jacksonville. And then a little bit towards Gainesville, you can still pick up our signal, but then eventually you get to WUCF, or not UCF, you get to US, yes, in Gainesville. All of our stations have amazing departments and people that work in them across educational topics. And if you have an opportunity to put something in the chat wherever you are watching this, we'd love to know where you are watching us from, even if it's outside of Florida. Our signal also gets picked up in South Georgia, so we have a lot of friends up there too. So we're about to show you a lot of places to go visit to find resources. We're going to start with our website. Everything we're going to show you, you can get to online, open 24/7, but we're going to hop in here first so you can see the latest and greatest that you can find on our WFSU education site. Take it away, Ryan.
Right now on the WFSU education page, we are sharing our big event that's right around the corner. February 17th, we're having Be My Neighbor Day, our seventh annual, with an opportunity for families and children to come meet Daniel Tiger. So definitely feel free to register for that if you're near, if you're in town. But if you scroll down, we've also got some other resources. We have monthly early learning educator workshops. Parents are also welcome to attend, a highlight of one of our teaching champions, and then some of those resources we talked about earlier. You can see our TV schedule. We're going to talk more about early to or ready to learn work and all the resources we have here. Particularly
Awesome.
since I know we're talking to educators, I'm going to go up and hit our For Educators tab. And again, lots and lots of resources are here. I know Tasha can speak to many of them and will.
Yes, and yes, that's what this one is all about. This Teleteach Talk is a broad look at resources and how you can access them. So you can get started just today, putting things into your lesson plans and sharing with your kiddos wherever they are. One thing too, I know people are going to be watching this not in February and not around Be My Neighbor time, but other stations around the state also have Be My Neighbor Day. So check into your local station and see what they have going on. WFSU has three major events a year, in addition to Be My Neighbor Day, which is usually in the winter. We have our Summer Challenge kickoff, which is right when kids get out of school, and then the kickoff activities go on throughout the summer. And then we have Halloween, which of course is in October, and it's a not so scary Halloween animal nature based day of fun. So we'll stop looking at our WFSU website right now and return to our main presentation and the next resources. PBS Kids takes a whole child approach in that we cover academic subjects, science, technology, engineering, literacy, social studies, word cultures, fine arts, and everything in between. But because it's all story based, we also weave into it self awareness, critical thinking, relationships, and just dealing with the natural things that happen throughout a child's life in a really sweet way in all of these different episodes. This is a graphic organizer that talks about informational text and really ties very closely into how we work around literacy. Ryan, do you want to let's tag team and go around the
Yeah,
points?
so we have broken informational text into 5 different types, all kind of shown in this graphic organizer. The first one is procedural or how to, which teaches us how to do something.
Which means basically if you're going to make a recipe or if you're going to play with tangrams and you have a little pattern and you can build a rabbit out of these different shapes. Those are all step by step. You have to do it in order so that it comes together the way you want it.
The next one is biographical, which tells us about a real person.
One of our best programs that really does a super job with biographical information is called Xavier Riddle and the Secret Museum. And it's also, it aligns with a book series that jumps into a famous person's life when they were a youngster. And it really shows that spark of how they became who they are and the contributions they made to our lives.
Wonderful. And the next one is functional. These help us do everyday tasks. And I love the little picture in here. You can see our PBS Kids character is checking out the weather.
That's right. And that may be something that you do with your kids, either in the classroom or at home as you look at a weather app, or you just go outside and figure out what you're going to need to wear that day. And that's definitely a functional thing. Like if it's raining outside, you're going to want your child to be wearing a raincoat and maybe pack an umbrella and make sure that their lunch is in a waterproof bag. But those are all functional things that doing every day helps that child figure out how to build on those executive functioning skills.
Wonderful. We also have nonfiction narrative, which shares and interprets a true story.
Which again, very important. We learn the best through stories. And in every episode of PBS Kids, and even in PBS, it's based on stories. Everything from mystery to Magic School Bus, all of those resources that have ever been told in PBS are nonfiction and sometimes fictional narratives. And our
And then,
last one,
yeah, the last one we have, which there's no real order, but the last one for purposes of the chart, informational and explanatory, which conveys different pieces of information about the world we live in.
and one of our favorite ways to share this are like through Molly of Denali. It's a wonderful program that's specifically designed around informational text. And within it, Molly's always using nature guides. And I think that's a great way, you know, when we have a nature guide and we have this beautiful world of Florida around us, that it's informational text and it explains what we're looking at and interprets the world around us. So that's a great example for that. Thanks, Ryan.
Mhm.
Two other visual graphic organizers are the inquiry process and the engineering design process. We do a lot of work in science, and we know that kids learn best, all of us learn best, when there's a hands-on opportunity to really get into materials, ask questions, and experiment with it. And you'll see this built into so many different lessons and even the programs themselves, where our characters are presenting a problem, working together to solve it, collaborating, and providing a solution, but then thinking about other ways that they could make it even better. Yeah, we're going to touch just briefly on how WFSU and other stations are funded. WFSU is very, very proud to be a Ready to Learn station. And what that means that a small cohort of stations around the United States are selected to pilot new content in partnership with the U.S. Department of Education and to CPB, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that then works with experts, subject experts, on specific priorities for ready to learn topics in which new programs are developed and new engagement things are piloted. WFSU has been part of this work for a very long time, since the very first grant that was established in 1995. And you might recognize some of these wonderful programs. They all have fabulous resources that you can use in your classroom and at home. All of them are still available on PBS Learning Media that we'll continue to share about later on in this presentation. But we hope you recognize some of these wonderful logos and know that all of this is still available for you free. This round of Ready to Learn, we are focused on computational thinking, the world of work, and everyday literacy.
So a couple points with that. A group of partners, including local PBS stations that are acutely focused on early learning needs of children and their families, are the ones that have come together to work on this.
And together, we're fostering a community and a statewide culture that promotes Learn Together theme and empowers children and adults to learn anytime, anywhere, at home, in the neighborhood, and within local systems and spaces.
And we're all working to intentionally coordinate parent, family, business, and educator experiences that will provide a comprehensive set of touch points for a community to support a child's learning, encouraging sustained use and extending impact of ready-to-learn content.
So all of these things are built into the work that we do as a Ready to Learn station and partner with our other stations in Florida and indeed across the United States. So we're going to jump into the specific resources right now, but just in general, know that everything, again, free, open 24/7 because it's all accessible online. There's content with Ready to Learn that's specific to pre-K through third grade, but as we go through resources, you'll see that every single grade and lifelong learning is included too. So there's always something for everyone. Not only are there online resources for educators and adults to use, but there are apps and games that are specifically designed for young ones to use to supplement their learning. And stations across the United States include local content, and we'll show you some of that from here in Florida too. So one of the things that we have built over the years are content kits, and these have come to be in a lot of different ways. You can get to them from PBS Learning Media, and they are specific to Ready to Learn priorities. From the last round, they were science-based, so we have Sensational Science, Odd Squad, which is math, and informational text. We'll jump into those more. There are bundle builders. This is a current thing that PBS stations and Ready to Learn stations are working on, is pairing all kinds of resources from the world of PBS Kids, pairing them with local resources. Like for us in Florida, that means Kid Vision, which is an incredible series that Miss Penny does down in South Florida. And you can get to all of her episodes by visiting their station or on PBS Learning Media. And then offering suggestions of how to use this bundled material with your students and your kids. We have also been contracted through Leon County Schools. This is a wonderful joint project that we put together 5 STEM kits for teachers to check out during the school day and for after school. Here's the 5: Cyber Chase Green It Up, Scratch Junior Code to Learn, the Sensational Science Camp, Ready Jet Go Space Explorers, and Odd Squad Be the Agent. Here's one of the things. You can go to our website and you can actually see a video about this camp in action. This is just a little peep at all of the different materials that we assembled as part of this great partnership with Leon County Schools. And this is a little bit of some of the materials that kids are using. They get to make mixtures, there's data collection, they are charting, they're graphing, they're thinking outside of the box. but using all those great executive functioning design processes in the work that they do around this. Another one of the programs that you have access to are what we call family and community learning. The one that you're looking at right now, this is some of Rough Ruffman, that's a family learning one, where they're doing experiments with rolling different balls and looking at different textures and how that impacts the speed of a object. Their library corners, students and families rotate through all these different activities. They learn together, they have dinner together. It's wonderful. And you can get to those also through PBS Learning Media. I think Ryan's going to take us into this site.
We're still on our website, but just here you can see the Molly of Denali Family Community Learning kit. It's got the facilitator guide. We have a museum planner, stickers that come with it, other printable activities, and the resources go on.
They do. There's so many things. You just take a little time and print out the amount you need for your class and assemble a few materials, and it's all right here online for you. So here we go. There's the Rough Ruffman Science one that we referred to earlier. There's Scratch Junior, that's the coding one. Again, these are all adventures that families have together that can be facilitated in a church setting and an after school, at a library. Everything's here and free for you to use. And so we hope you check that out. And these are all part of the Ready to Learn collection as well. So our next big project that we're excited to share with you, it's not quite ready yet, but it will be hopefully the first parts by the end of March of 2024, is our thelearningneighborhood.org. With our world of work priority, and of course with all the priorities, because this makes everything easy to access, is this virtual world where students will pick a car and they'll drive down a main street or a city street or a town street, and they will pass banks and a hospital and a school and all kinds of other structures that will look like things that they have in their own neighborhoods. And they'll click on these buildings. And inside the dentist office will be an easy way to get to Super Why, the Story of the Tooth Fairy, or Daniel Tiger, Jody's toothbrushing song, and games like Peg plus Cat morning routine, or jump into Kid Vision, which is a wonderful series that's created by Miss Penny down in South Florida. Kid Vision, where there's a field trip to the dentist and there's a student assessment and even a take-home activity. There's also storybooks built into Daniel Tiger. There's articles that are adult-facing to give you even more ideas or provide a background to the other resources that you see. And then a fantastic book choice that's been selected with our partners, Midtown Reader, or if there's one that's specifically available in the world of PBS. So again, coming soon, this wonderful project has come together with our Ready to Learn, CPB, the Department of Education, along with the Florida Center for Interactive Media, Midtown Reader, and our Chamber of Commerce partners who have created the Classroom Connection. So our next big section is, of course, PBS Learning Media. And if you're not familiar with PBS Learning Media, we really hope that our enthusiasm for this grabs hold of you and you check it out right away. This is the repository for PBS Kids and PBS content, and even content from other agencies like NASA and the National Gallery. They are all in this amazing multimedia library that is built specifically for teachers. When you jump into PBS Learning Media, you can search in multiple ways. You can search by grade level, you can search by subject, you can search by the type of media you're looking for. And you can save all these things, you can make folders, you can share them, you can assign projects within this site, and have a code that goes right to your students. There's actually professional development also on the site, including how best to use PBS Learning Media. So again, hope this sparks you're wanting to dive in here and really, really make media a part of your daily lesson planning, because we try to make it so easy for you. Here's an interactive lessons. I think we just Googled middle school, high school interactive lessons, and 151 of them popped up. And new ones are being added all the time, not just from PBS, adult-facing PBS, but PBS Kids and stations across the United States contribute to this, different topics uploaded all the time. And then on to games. So as you can see in this recent survey that we received from PBS Kids about insights, this came back in December. It was from summer of 22 to the fall of 22, but this has maintained consistently that games are where kids want to be. And you can see across tablets and cell phones and computers, when kids have access, they want to play. And when they play on PBS games, they are learning. And let's jump into that.
Yeah, so this is the page where you can see all of our games. You can see down below it's broken out by different new games, reading games. I'm particularly interested in cozy games. That sounds great. It's been a little cold in Tallahassee. And back up at the top, if you just kind of slide through, there's a bunch of options up here as well. And I know in particular, we wanted to showcase babysitting Squee. So this is an online only show that you can watch on pbskids.org, but also comes with games. I go to Filipino Fest every year and I drink a Halo Halo, so I was really excited to see this on here. They're a fun, funky treat that we can all enjoy and learn about. And then there's also activities, there's coloring pages you can print out and other resources. And then a link to kind of the live broadcast of all of the shows. So you can watch old episodes, you can watch live TV, lots of options.
Yes. And also showing Ben Jelly and Pogo, do know that there's a lot of content that's on PBS Kids that there just isn't time to show on our 24/7 airtime. So please investigate. There's a wonderful program called Oh Noah that is for children that want to learn more about Spanish. So it's great for whether you're learning Spanish or you're already know Spanish and you can share it with others. There's also Scribbles and Ink, which is an art program. It's all kinds of creative ideas. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg. So check all that out too. The teacher feature is another really wonderful asset that PBS Kids develops for us. And you can access it through PBS Learning Media and also on our website. But if you sign up for the PBS newsletter or the WFSU newsletter, we have two. There's a parent-facing one and there's an educator-facing one. You also will have access to new teacher features and you can click on it, and sometimes it focuses on a resource like right here, Odd Squad. Sometimes it focuses on a lesson plan or a new interactive that's available through PBS, or what is a hot topic for teachers. Teachers share a lot of content with us. They can save things and make them on PBS Learning Media. So it gives us a chance to turn that spotlight back on the folks that are using all of these materials the most. Another big project that is part of our WFSU life and is really geared towards middle school and high school is the American Graduate Project. We'll be talking about this in another Tally Teach Talk video moment. So stay tuned for that later. And another wonderful project that has resources that we hope you investigate is SciGirls. We've held a SciGirls camp program for, oh my goodness, it might be 17 years, if not more right now, that we have in partnership with the High Magnetic Lab here in Tallahassee, part of Florida State University. And every summer, a new cohort of girls comes together and they experiment and explore and hear from scientists from all over. It's just amazing. And it's to the point now that our Sci-Girls graduates are now in the field of the sciences and they come back and share with the next generation of Sci-Girls. So check that out. And also NOVA. In the last 2 years, we partnered closely with NOVA. In particular, Weathering the Future was our last big project together. But separate from WFSU, there's NOVA Science Labs. The teachers can get involved with separately and bring all those great NOVA resources to your schools. Your students can create content that NOVA then will share with the rest of the United States. So we encourage you to check that out, and we might have another Tele-Teach Talk session specifically about this program as well in the future. So as we wrap up, know that WFSU Public Media and PBS Kids and PBS and even the world of NPR and WFSU FM is always here, and we're here to help. And we have all these wonderful resources for you to use and explore, and we encourage you to do that. We'd love for you to keep in touch with us. Next slide, right? If you have a particular need about a subject, if you have questions, if you have ideas, if you would like us to have a special workshop for your group, let us know. Even if you would like the slide deck, you can find us at education@wfsu.org. And you can get the latest on Facebook, on our newsletter sign up, and we're on Instagram and our Tele-Teach Talk Facebook page. So many ways. So please let us know you're out there and how we can help, and look for more Tele-Teach Talk videos soon. Thanks.